Hey everybody, welcome to Easy Tarot Lessons. This is Squirrel and I'm here with Sally. We are
Hi.
Hi. And we are going to do the Ace of Cups today in continuation of our card meaning possibilities for y'all. Sally, you got anything on the Ace of Cups?
Do I have anything on the Ace of Cups? My
Ah.
cup runneth over. Are you kidding? Look at all of this. A- Ace of Cups, when it comes up, it's one of those cards that just fills you with like joy and happiness and bounty overflowing. It's just, it's a very emotionally satisfying card. So, I get the waves of emotions long before I get the words. And that just kind of runs over me when here I am using all those analogies. When I look at this card, it's love overflowing, it's peace, it is healing, it's understanding, it's compassion all over it. um, those are the first emotions that hit me when I look at this card. And it could be specific things and not always good specific things. Like there could be a leak.
Mm-hmm.
You could be overly emotional, you know. All of those things come with this card. And there's almost a religious aspect with this card too, that I get when it comes up. That there's something almost divine lending its hand in whatever I'm reading on occasion. It's just, again, these things always mean different things depending on how the reading is going. But yeah, those are some things I think about when I look at this card.
When you said religion, that dove with the wafer in its mouth and the
Mhm.
cup, the chalice, it's very, very indicative of like Catholic communion.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And honestly, for the longest time, when I started reading, that's, communion.
Hmm.
And see, that's the issue with keywords. I learned this card as communion,
Hmm.
and that just doesn't factor into everyday life. That
Hmm.
does not factor into every reading. And you try to force communion on a frickin' pagan Wiccan or druid, they're
Hmm.
gonna look at you like, kiss my big left toe, you
Right, right,
know?
right.
So this was one of the cards that actually forced me away from keywords
Hmm.
because I had learned it. This is communion. You're doing a reading and you tell everyone that the Ace of Cups comes up, go to church. Not cool.
Not
Not
always the answer.
cool. So keywords just don't cut it.
No.
Just and that's I've been waiting for this card to come up. I'm embarrassed of it. Oh hell yeah, I'm embarrassed of that. But we gotta learn,
Hmm.
and those of us that learn with keywords, we
Hmm.
either stay stubborn and stick to the keywords, or we're like, okay, this just isn't working for me, and run away
Right.
from it.
And it doesn't, because I was the same way, decades ago when I started looking at these. I memorized them, and you would memorize a litany of words, and those those things are still in my head. They'll still
Yes.
run through my head when I'm looking at certain cards. I just string them along one after another. So they never really go away. They're buried down in there. And sometimes that keyword does apply. So you don't want to say, "Ooh, it
Yes.
can't be the keyword because it's a keyword." Yes, it can be a keyword.
I'm
It just
so
isn't all.
glad. Oops,
Mhm.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm so glad you said
Yeah.
that because I'll see that in groups sometimes. We're like, no, it can't be that because that's a keyword. But sometimes the keyword does apply.
Mhm.
Because if you just eliminate the keywords altogether, you're sticking yourself in a different kind of rut.
Right.
Yep. Sorry
Right.
to interrupt you there.
No, that's fine. No, we're just sitting here talking. Um, this card is bounty. It's fertility to me too.
Hmm.
You just see those flames of life falling down. Uh, you know, they're not flames, obviously, but that I can't remember what they're called. You'd probably remember what they're called.
Yachts.
Yeah, thank you. I couldn't come up with it today. But yeah, that's, life. There's just so much potential can come out of this card. The life is the or the ocean is the origin of all life. And so when I see this, even though it's fresh water with our little lilies, it's that's what I see. I see the sea of life.
Yes. Yes, and a lot of people too get trapped, and you pointed out the abundance in just about anything. You didn't just say relationships. I love
Mm.
that because you don't get trapped. A lot of people also get trapped. I'm on a rage today. I'm so sorry. And they see a cup and they immediately, this can only mean emotions.
Hmm.
Those elements do not lock you into emotion. This could be, if I'm doing a business reading and this comes up, that's going to be abundance in that business. It's going to
Hmm.
apply to the question that the person sitting across from me asked.
Hmm.
So I'm glad you pointed that out too, Sally. And the
Yeah.
fresh water. Dusty did point out that yeah, I never knew this before I took the course, that those lilies were highly indicative of fresh water. They only grow in fresh water. So a lot of times the simplest factor of this card, ace, fresh water, fresh start.
Hmm.
You know?
Yes. Nicely said.
So this could be something, you want to change things and this comes up, it's saying go for it.
Hmm. Yeah. I agree with all of that. So what if we reverse it?
Oh. Now see, okay, this reversals are tricksy beasts. It could be a lessening of, oh, it'll be a good start, or it'll be a good, you'll do all right, but you won't be like
Hmm.
swimming in
Hmm.
luxury or emotions. It could be the opposite of. It could be,
Hmm.
oh, just don't go there. This is
Right.
bad for you.
Yeah.
Or even an overabundance of, where you'll be so, and I'm going to go with emotions on this because it is cups, but you'll be so emotionally overwhelmed that you won't know which way to turn.
Hmm.
And it could be those three and more. Your
Hmm.
brain might just, you might just see that cup, or you might just see the bird, or
Hmm.
you might just see this is where it would be really good. Oh, you sprung a leak.
Right.
Yep.
And the way those cords are hanging, there could be something hanging from the ceiling. I mean,
Hmm.
this could be your problem. What's your problem in your house? Oh, it's your chandelier.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
whatever you're seeing. But yeah, a lot of times I'll look at this and, oh, you're just not feeling it, are you?
Right. You really don't want to do
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
you know? And there was one time we had a student that her youngin had lost a file at work. I'm not going to mention any names or anything,
Hmm.
but it was such an important file, and it was they just couldn't find it, and it was necessary to find it.
Hmm.
So she had gone from group to group asking people to do dowsing for her,
Hmm.
and she didn't tell any of us that she had gone to anybody else. Don't do this. Do not hop from tarot reader to tarot reader. But
Hmm.
it turned out that every last one of us had gotten the Ace of Cups. There were about 6 of us who dowsed for her, and we all told her it would be found near the water cooler. And that's
That's
where it was
brilliant.
found. And but we also told her it was moving quickly. It was going from hand to hand. Yeah, all of us said the same thing. It was really weird. So,
Hmm.
but she wanted, like, I want it now, but it was going from hand to hand and moving so quickly there was no way to chase it down till it ended up at that water cooler.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
it was just very, very strange, but
Yeah, but
cool
you
as
make a
hell.
great point. This Ace of Cups, a source of water. Name a
Yep.
source of water. It could be all kinds of things.
Yep.
There are fountains and sinks and bathtubs and water coolers and jacuzzis and even rain clouds for that matter.
Bird
Uh,
baths.
Bird baths, absolutely.
So it doesn't always have to be some profound uh, spiritual meaning. Profound and spirituality are great, but
Hmm.
there's not always a place for it. If she had
Hmm.
asked me that question and I had said, look deep into your heart, and she would have just been like, I'm done with you.
Right? I need a place. I don't need a
Yeah.
metaphysical exercise. Yeah.
Yeah, and so many tarot readers make it into, it has to be profound, it has to be sacred, it has to be arcane.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's just not. Sometimes it's just so in your face,
Mm-hmm.
you know, very everyday stuff.
Yeah. And I was just thinking of this card, right side up, there's kind of a purity there. So upside down, reversed, I'm seeing it as like contaminated water.
Oh, I like that. Oh
Yeah.
man, that could save lives.
Right? Right?
Yes. Yes. And that could be a great analogy too, the purity, the innocence, or
Mm-hmm.
jaded, very
Mm-hmm.
jaded. You got that in the reverse for someone and they're trying to start something new or be someone else. They have to address that they've got that outlook that just keeps them from being
Mm-hmm.
able to trust or being able to believe.
Mm-hmm. This is a chatty card. There's a lot going on in this card.
Yeah, we could probably keep going on.
Mm-hmm.
But
But you get the gist. There's a big wide fishbowl with this card.
oh, no pun intended, huh?
Right? Right?
We got koi in them there waters. So don't be afraid to climb into the card, to talk to it, to look at it. If you're like, what the hell is a yod? I I say be careful with that. If you don't understand yods, which I do not, I'm going to be completely honest. Um, I am not a student of the Kabbalah, but don't look it up and just take face value what the internet says. If you want to know what a yod is, really study what a yod is and what
Mm-hmm.
everything else that goes with it is. Don't try to force the yods into the tarot reading, but if you really understand them and they come into the reading, absolutely. Absolutely
Mm-hmm.
use them, but know what the hell you're talking about before you go off with something like that.
Yeah,
And
very good advice.
if you're going to look it up, don't just see one explanation of it and take that at face value. Look it up in several different areas. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Do your research.
Now, research it, understand it before you introduce it into your readings. Um, we really could go on all day. Nothing we have said is set in stone. What we're doing here is giving you guidelines on how to look at the card and see things on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And we really appreciate everybody being here. We'll be back next time with the Two of Cups, and we're going to continue on through the entire deck. So
Sounds great.
thank you, Sally. I really appreciate you being here with
Thanks for
me.
having me.
Oh, I love your insights. And I'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye bye.